And again, I'd like to welcome you all to today's advanced training, which will be covering the Reminders app to learn how to organize your daily life. And thank you all so much for coming on. I'm going to read our disclaimer before we get started. The WildTech DC Senior iPad program, its owners and presenters offer technical assistance, virtual health well-being information designed for educational purposes only. You should not rely on the information in any applications or topics made by WildTech, including but not limited to mobile device applications and any social media pages maintained by WildTech, its owners or presenters as a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, treatment, or legal advice. Thank you so much for letting me read the disclaimer. If you cannot see me or hear me or see the screen, please let me know in the chat and I would really appreciate that. To keep our meetings organized and of course avoid talking to each other, have some kind of etiquette, give everyone the chance to speak. I just ask if you have a question, comment, concern, reaction, anything, that you raise your hand in Zoom. You do that by tapping more at the top right, and then you tap on raise hand. So, as this being the advanced training, the creme de la creme, as we always say, I want to see a lot of hands up because we all are Zoom experts at this point, right? So I want everyone in Zoom to please raise their hand. Again, you tap on more at the top right and then raise hand. So I know that you're here, you're present, ready to learn. You know that you raise your hand, we want to, again, give everyone the chance to ask questions, etc. So it's really important that we utilize that feature. So thank you to the 12 of you that have already raised your hands. 13, lucky number 13, thank you. And I really appreciate your all participation. So you all can lower your hands by hitting lower at the bottom. It says your hand is raised and it says lower. And so you hit that, you lower your hand. And you want to keep your hand up, forever, right? In real life. So just kind of think of that way when you're in Zoom. So again, I want everyone to lower their hand in Zoom. You can also send little reactions if you want, below raise hand, there's like a clap or a thumbs up or a heart, a celebratory emoji, or you can choose any of Apple's emojis with these 3 dots here. So, once in a while, it'd be nice if you could send a reaction if you, like something or heart something or want to send you congrats. It's a fun way. And, we can all see our reactions in the participants list. So if you have participants, you can see other folks' reaction as well. Okay. And if you want to communicate with others non-verbally, as many of you actually have done already, which is great, the chat is a great way to share hello. Happy Friday. Hope you have a great weekend. Happy almost last week of March. I mean, February. Anything you like. Saying, hoping everyone has a great day. You can ask your question in the chat. You can put your comment in the chat. I try to, whenever I'm on, look at the chat during the session, to either address or, react to something. And it's a fun way to, just share your thoughts non-verbally. You do that by going to more. So I'm going to go to my Zoom and then I'm going to hit more at the top right. And then I'm going to hit chat. So I want everyone in Zoom to please send a chat. Below it says tap here to chat. You tap right there and the keyboard will come up and you see the cursor, right? You're going to type in your message. Excuse me. I'm going to write hello. And then let me send some hearts. So you all deserve all the hearts. So hello, have a great day. Just, sending you messages have been really, really nice when just sending it through the chat and, just reading it, right? I love all the chats coming in. Yes, happy Friday. It just makes you feel good, right? When you read it, because you know that everyone is just wishing each other a good day, despite some of the challenges we may face on a day-to-day basis, reading this, this chat, it just kind of uplifts your spirit. So, just by you sending something or sending your love or your, your good words or your good thoughts, that can really make an impact. So, thank you all so much. Everyone have a great Friday. Good morning. Yes, it's raining a bit outside, but it feels really good. Weather next week is looking really nice. So, let's enjoy each and every day as it comes. So thank you all so much. Continue to utilize the chat. not just during, this session, but every session that you attend on Zoom, okay? So today we'll be covering the Reminders app. So for, the next few advanced trainings, I want to really just solely focus on some of, Apple's apps itself. They're really easy to access and, they're quite well built. So we'll be covering the Reminders app. Today on Monday, we'll be covering the calendar app and so on and so forth. So I'll be doing a little more exploring to see what other apps from Apple there are to explore, but I have a couple ideas. So I look forward to doing the session with you all. This was the first ever advanced session that I had created myself, when coming and doing these advanced sessions. So it always brings back some flashbacks and some good feelings. And it really is a wonderful app. So I hope, towards the end, if you would like to try, with us, the Reminders app, I would love to, have you show something off. Okay. But anyway, Reminders, which looks like this app right here, literally looks like a reminders list. It's, when you guys received your iPads or when anyone does really, because this is an Apple app, it usually appears on the first screen or so. So it's right here, the white icon, and it looks like a list in there. So it's very, very noticeable. This app makes it easy you can create a to-do list. One of the newer features, you can create a grocery list in there. You can set deadlines for your reminders, and you can basically organize your life. So with your reminders, if you have a lot of like one-off tasks, or if you do want to create a to-do list, or if you need to jot something down that you need to do, again, this is a great way to make sure that you, do everything that's on your list for that day, right? You can also create reminders with subtasks and attachments, and set notifications based on time and location, okay? Before we start, you just want to make sure, and not just for reminders, but any app that you just want to keep its data safe in iCloud. You want to again keep your reminders updated across all of your different devices. So in order to check to see which apps are using iCloud or storing their data there, you follow the instructions that are on the screen. You go to Settings, you tap on your name at the top left, and then you'll hit iCloud, and you'll go from there to see which apps are using iCloud. So again, you're going to go to Settings on your device, and on the left-hand side, you're going to tap on your name, and on the right-hand side, you are going to hit iCloud. When you do, I know it didn't say specifically in the instructions because it didn't look like this back then. You see where it says apps using iCloud. All you have to do is hit show all. Oops. All you have to do is hit show all, and you'll see all of the apps that are using iCloud. So your data is in in iCloud, safe and sound. So you'll see what options you have. So if I look for, let's see, reminders, let me see. Just want to make sure. Apps using iCloud. So let me look at my reminders and see what's going on in here. So I don't see it here. Reminders, Apple ID, iCloud. Oh, there you go. I just didn't see it at first. And sometimes that even happens, There is a lot of apps or icons on the screen. So sometimes you just have to take a second and just really look through the screen to find what you're looking for. So yes, reminders, it's on in iCloud. So again, I have an iPhone. So if I create a reminder on my iPhone, it will appear on my iPad and vice versa, which I think is really neat. So to make sure it's on, and once it's on, great. You'll see that all of your reminders on all of your Apple devices that are signed into the same Apple ID. So you'll be able to do that and save that data on iCloud in case, again, you lose your device, you need to replace it for whatever reason, you'll have that information safe, okay? So this is what, not a typical, but an example of your what your reminders app could look like. You see that you have your reminders here, and it's pretty. It looks like kind of one-off tasks, but again, you can just simply create a to-do list. So even doctor's appointment, cancel membership, send recipe, pick up supplies. And you see some of them even have little hashtags or tags, as they say, next to each one of these reminders, which is a really neat way to organize it. You see on the left-hand side is kind of like, what's the word for it? It's like, the main way to go or navigate between the different kind of reminders that you have. So you see your reminders for today, your scheduled ones, all of yours, your flagged reminders, and you have something called lists. So you can create lists of reminders for that particular topic. So we'll be covering a bit of each, a little bit of everything right here in today's session. And it just comes with practice. You don't have to know everything at first. You just, learn as you go and use what is useful for you, right? So first up is creating a reminder. The simplest thing to do. One, you have to open the app, of course. You have to be in the Reminders app to create a reminder. Of course, you can create one with Siri as well, but mainly if you want to create one, you go into the Reminders app, and then you see at the bottom, it says new reminder. So you'll see that option, and you type basically your reminder in, and then you press done. So again, it's very, very simple. So I'm going to go to my Reminders app. And you see on mine, I have for today, I actually had one, it said water my plants. And you see it says yesterday at 7:30 a.m. So I didn't complete that reminder. So that's why it says for today, which I think is neat. So plus new reminder, here is at the bottom. And when I tap on it, look, the keyboard comes up and a new reminder comes up for today, right? So it's something as simple as maybe a return. Maybe I'm going to use an emoji. Book, right? Book. Yeah. X. Just to have some fun with it. Return books to the library. And then you see it says done at the top right. If you are done, if you only want to make one reminder, you can hit done at the top right. And look at that now, that is a simple reminder. So, no date, no time, no tag, and that's okay too. If you just want to put it in there so that it's there so you don't forget, sometimes you have a lot of moving parts going on. So as long as you just put that one little thing somewhere that you can look at later on, so that way you can remind yourself about it, it's quite convenient. So yes, we just created a reminder simply by hitting new reminder at the bottom, and you see it appeared here in my reminders app. So some basics of using the app. At the top left, you'll see a search bar. So you can search for reminders, you can search for lists, you can search for list items using the search bar at the top of the screen. So yeah, at the top left, you can search for, current and past reminders based on different things. Like, if there's a tag or if there's like notes or anything on your reminder, you'll be able to search for it. So if I type in plants, look at that, plants comes up, right? Let's see what happens when I put in a date. So yesterday was 2/21. Okay, that doesn't work, which is okay. You're trying different things out. Let's see. What did I do? There, I did a tag. You can search by tags. You see, I'm trying to type accounting, and you see ACC accounting comes up, which I think is really neat. You can search for list. I have a list, some lists already created here, so maybe a work. What happens when I hit work? Okay, so sometimes, well, it doesn't come up because there's no reminders in my work list. So I think that totally makes sense. But you get the gist of it. You can use the search bar to search for reminders that you've had in the past for whatever reason. Okay. Oops. So again, some basics on the left-hand side. Oops, my bad. On the top right-hand side, depending on which one you're in, you see on the left-hand side, you have today, you have scheduled, you have all, you have flagged. basically these three dots at the top right that you see is kind of like the more of this app, right? There's just more options there. And it does change slightly based on which one you're in. So if you're in today versus the other ones like scheduled, all, or flagged. So you'll see the options come up are a little bit different. So today you have these three drop down options. And then for the other ones, you have show reminders, show completed, print, etc. So you'll just see the different options when you tap on that button. So if I go to today and hit these three dots, again, it's updated a bit since that screenshot was taken, but essentially, yep, you can still select reminders, just like how you can select emails, you can select multiple reminders at the same time. And at the bottom, you see some different options. If I wanted to trash these two, I can do that. If I wanted to put it in a list, I would use the second icon at the bottom, etc. These three dots. I can mark both of them as completed at the same time, right? And it goes away. Yep. And so you can select reminders. You can group reminders based on time. So you see if I have the option turned off, you see the morning, afternoon, evening, or tonight went away, right? So there's that option that you can do. You can sort by the creation date of the reminder. You can sort it manually. You can sort it by priority when you add one, title, etc. So there are many ways to organize it as well. But I like due date, the default option. I think is, quite intuitive. Mr. Harold, when you tag, does it only stay, well, when you say elsewhere, what do you mean? And that way I'll be able to answer that, but I'll be covering tags in a few as well. But yes, that's today's scheduled. So you see, if I hit these three dots, again, you can hide the completed scheduled reminders, etc. You can select them like before, all reminders, three dots. Same idea. One new feature that came up with reminders, you can just look at your completed reminders. So these two that we just completed earlier appear right here. Okay. So yes, that is kind of like the more button. So if you ever need to use those options, you can find them there. You can edit a reminder. I think this is really cool if you need to be really specific about what you may need to do. So look, if you want to edit a reminder, when you're in the reminder, you see a little eye icon that you can add more details and customizations, such as notes, a website link, and even a priority to that reminder. Okay, so I'm going to go to my reminders app and let me create a reminder really quick. Let me see. What do I have to do today? I know. See my friend. I'm seeing my friend today. And you see it even when you're creating the reminder, if you look at the right, you see this eye. And when you tap on it, look at all these different options that come up. So, we're gonna fill this out, as much as we can and, with some practical situations, right? So look, the first option is notes. Well, actually, you actually have the title. You can change the title from here. So not just like see my friend, right? I'll use the example that's in the slides. Take a Tylenol or something. There's the Apple Health app that you can now put this information in, but again, it's just thinking of just some examples. You can also think about pick up ingredients from store, something like that. So we'll go with it. I like that one. Pick up food and whatever from the store. So you have the title, and then you have the notes. So you can add additional information about the reminder. So if it's take medicine, then in the notes you would put like Tylenol, for example, right? The URL, if you can add a website link, if you need to access it to complete your reminder. So for example, if you want to look at the store, like what's in the store before you go in there, So like pick up ingredient from store. You can put like a list or something. So you need a let's see, Tupperware, right? Something like that. You need a I'm just putting something random, right? You know, something specific, right? And then let's say if you're going to Safeway, you know, maybe you need to go to safeway.com and go on the website to see what is there, right? So you have your notes and you have your URL if you need to complete it. You have your date and time. You can add a date and time to your reminder. So yes. What I can say, we'll be covering the calendar app on Monday. So if you have something that's a little more scheduled, like, you know, you do something every month or every 2 weeks, you know, I think that's a great place to put it. But, you know, putting in reminders is not bad as well. But just, you know, keep that in mind. So dates, look, today, right? But look, I don't need to do it for today. Maybe I want to see my friend tomorrow. So let me put tomorrow's day, right? Date tomorrow. And then I can even put a time. So my friend is not oh wait, no, store. Well, my friend, she's not an early bird. So I'm not going to go at 11. Maybe I'll go at 1 p.m., something like that. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. So you can adjust the date and time of your reminder. You can add some additional ones as well. Like you can add a reminder for a notification for your reminder. So like this one says early reminder. So I can have this set up 2 hours before and then repeat. You can have the reminder repeated as well. So if you want to repeat this bi-weekly, right? And you can end it at a date, a time, end date, maybe the 22nd of March, right? So you have tags. So this is where you can add a tag to that reminder. So it's like you're literally like if you think of Facebook, you know, you put hashtags, or like Instagram, you put hashtags for your posts, you know, kind of related to it. So this, if I'm going to the grocery store, that is you know, personal, right? So you just learn something. You just have to type in the name, so like personal, or you can just even tap on it, right? Or you can add a new one. So maybe this is food. I already have food. Let's see. Let's see. Something like that. So you can add in food, friends. You can literally add anything as a tag. There you go. I just added friends, and that's a tag. You can also add a location to the reminder. So if you're going to the store, maybe you want to put in the location for that store. So for Safeway, you know, if I'm going to Safeway, I'm going to Heckens Mall. If I'm going to Giant, I'll be on 8th Street, something like that. So if you hit the location option, you'll be able to add that location to the reminder. When messaging, if you have someone involved with that reminder, right? You can show the reminder notification when chatting with a person in iMessage. So if you're iMessaging someone and you have them in as a contact in your reminder, the reminder actually pops up when you are utilizing iMessage. Again, really neat feature. Flag, you can flag a reminder to mark it as extra important and make it appear in the flag list. So if you look on the left-hand side, there's even a flagged section. So only your flagged reminders will appear. So, you know, if something is really important, you know, you can add a priority to the reminder. You can assign it low, medium, or high priority. So this is going to the store. I mean, hey, you need to eat, right? So I would say for me, that would be a high priority, right? And then you can add a reminder to a list you've created. So we'll be talking about lists shortly. So look, it by default, it's reminders, but look, you can again add it to another list that you have or add it to a group as well. So a list, you can add it from here. You can always edit it later on. If you create a new list, you can then add or edit the reminder to be in that list. And also not last, second to last, but not least, you can add a subtask to any reminder. So, if you're taking medicine and you know you need to take a Tylenol, you also need to get a glass of water, right? So you can add a subtask to your reminder. So, hey, if I'm going to the store, maybe I need to add, hey, I need to go to the ATM, right? Need money, right? So go to the ATM and you just go back by hitting this details button. So there, I have one subtask for this reminder. And last but not least, you can even add an image to your reminder, which I think is neat. You may never know what you might need to do, like scan a document. Maybe you have your grocery list. Instead of putting in the notes, you can scan the document. So if I have this piece of paper, you can use your iPad's camera to scan the document into the reminder. You can take a photo just with your camera if you want, or you can choose a photo from your photo library. So look, I'm gonna, just a random picture, right? But look, if someone sent me this image and I need it, then look, the image is here. You can even open it if you want. But yes, so there you go. That's what you can do when you are in a reminder, and you can edit it and you can really make it as specific as you want. Once you're done, you hit done. And look, it went away. Why did it go away? Because we scheduled it for tomorrow, right? To start. So look, on the left-hand side, I have my scheduled. And it looks like it's organizing it by the oldest first. So let me see if I can change that. I hit these three dots. And guess not. I think that's how it is. But hey, look, if I look here, which makes sense in a way, pick up ingredient from store, you notice the high priority because you have 3 exclamation marks next to it. You see that it's flagged. You see for notes, I have Tupperware, avocado. It's in my reminders. It's not in a list. It's just a reminder by itself. It looks like I have a subtask here as well. And it says repeats every 2 weeks, and I have these different tags. I have the link, and I have the image as well. So you can really make a reminder as specific as you'd like to, okay? So if I go back here, so that's editing your reminder. And again, you can have as many reminders as you want, which I think is really neat. To mark a reminder as complete, you simply tap the empty circle next to it. And instead of having to hit these 3 dots, Apple graciously added the completed reminders on the left-hand side. So look, it says completed. You can look at all of your completed reminders from here. But yes, today, let's make a new reminder. Let's see, edit presentation, right? Something simple. Edit presentation. I'm done. Well, you can add, again, any information like notes, URL, etc. But, just simply you could do that. And then once you complete it, you can hit the circle. That's right next to the title. You see it goes away, and now it appears in your completed section. And look, it actually told me I completed it at 10:30 today. So that tells you when I hit that completed button, which I think is neat too. Sometimes you may need to retrace your steps. So just by looking at the completed reminders, it tells you what you completed and when you did. Okay. You can add a reminder with Siri. So you can ask Siri to schedule a reminder for you. And here are a few examples. So, just some examples of reminders. I should next time I'll have a slide with some examples, but FaceTime someone, return books, pick up dinner, send out report, pick up soil, volunteer day, call Tom about the dog, call friend. You can add anything as a reminder. So I wish I could do it on my iPad with you all, but again, we're using the audio right now for Zoom, so I'll do it on my phone, and that way you'll see that it actually does get over onto my iPad, but it's the same idea. So Siri, remind me to walk the dog today. My sound on, but look, if you see my screen, it says walk the dog, and it created that reminder. So let me do that again. Hey Siri, Remind me to water my plants today.
Okay, I've added it.
Yeah. So once I have it added, I'm on my phone. I'm going to my reminders. And yeah, they both appear on my phone. So let me see what goes on my iPad. Let me see if it came up already. And look at that. Walk the dog and water my plants. So that's really neat. You can use Siri to add a reminder. Again, sometimes you just want to put the bare bones stuff because you just want to remember, right? You know the details, you just need to remember to actually do that task, right? So you can use Siri or you can type in your a reminder to create a reminder as well. Do you want to separate your reminders into categories like work or personal or school, church, etc.? Create a list to keep things organized. You'll see when you open the reminders app, you'll see on the left-hand side at the bottom is this option that says add list. You type a name for the list and you choose, of course, a color, icon, emoji, etc. if you want. And you can also make your list into a smart list, which we'll talk about shortly. So yes, you can create a list for your reminders as well. So you see, I do have some right here. So everyone's going to have at least one, which is the reminders list, because all of the reminders are a reminder, right? But look, I work as a list, and you can add anything. So at the bottom, it says add list. Again, really simple to navigate. It's right there. Add list. And then, of course, you can name the list. So I already did work. I did school. Um, let's see. This list. You can be really specific for this list. Maybe let's see. Birthday party. Right. So maybe I'm planning a birthday party. My friend D. Oops. Yeah. Yeah, D's birthday party. You can make it any color. I'm gonna make it I like this pink. And then let me look for maybe a party little emoji. So this is quite fun. Here's a present, right? So look, you see you can change the color, emoji, and here it says list type. So it's by default, it's a standard list, or you can make it a smart list. Again, we'll be covering that shortly, but just a regular old list, Dee's birthday party, and there you go, done. So you can just create reminders for that list or for whatever it is, right? To stay organized. So the cool thing is you can either add it directly to the list, or if you're just creating a reminder and hit the I, look what happens when you go to list. I can add it to Dee's birthday party when creating it. So you don't even have to be in the list to add it there when making a reminder, right? So I'm gonna hit cancel. And one cool thing that I didn't showcase, you can swipe. Just like emails in your inbox, you can swipe. Cool. I actually just remembered this. So look, tomorrow, oh wow, you can schedule them from that section, which I think is neat. New reminder, next weekend. Wow, that's neat. You can also, again, swipe into the left to get details, or you can flag it, or you can delete reminders from there as well. But again, let's go to Dee's birthday party. Let's add a reminder. And it's already going to be listed under this list because we're making it in the list, which I think is neat. So birthday party, pick up decorations, right? Oops, decorations. Yeah. And again, you can say like from where. So like location, go to Party City, Dollar Tree, notes, you could put what you need to get there, like, cups or plates or something. And you can put in the website or something that you need to look at, a date and time that you need this done, location tags. You can lots of different things that you can add, Pick up decorations, pick up cake, etc. So, you could really kind of plan it out. If you need to draft it on paper, put it in your iPad, you could do that, or you could just go straight into the iPad, however you want to organize everything. So that's a list you can create for specific reminders, okay? So again, this is what it looks like when you're creating the list. You put the name, you you choose the color and the different emoji that you may want. You can even edit a list. So it's not one and done and be all, right? When you make a list, when you're inside of a list, so whether in work or my work one or this one that we were working on, if I hit these three dots at the top right, look at that. There are some different options, quite a bigger one as well, that are really interesting. So look, show list info. This screen comes back up, which I think is pretty neat. Let's see, new section. That's cool. You can even set up a section for different things, food. And then let me drag. You can hold and even drag it. Pick up cake. Wow, that's really neat. I'm just trying this out. Others, food. Wow. I don't know how to even call this. Decorations. Well, it is decorations. So, just as an example, decorations. Wow, you can add sections within the list. That's new. That's not even in my PowerPoint. But wow. So you can even be really, really specific when doing that. So that's a brand new feature. But yes, three dots, you can change the sections, but some of the same options as well. This one says view as columns. Oh, that's neat. I like how that looks, right? Kind of literally a list in a way inside of the list. So quite cool if you view as list or view as columns. You can do either one. Okay. So I hope you all are trying some of these things out as we go over them. Yeah, you can move a reminder to a different list. So again, just kind of covering, editing a reminder. So let's say walk the dog, water my plants. I'm gonna hit the I, and then if I go to list, maybe this is for the birthday party. I need to make sure the plants is looking real good, right? And then look, you can even add it to the section. So food direction, direct decoration. I'm gonna put it under decoration, right? And then hit done. And look at that. Now it's water my plants, Dee's birthday party. And if I go here, it's under decorations. Wow. Let's see. Trying to address your question, Mr. Harold, if I hit these, if I create a tag, just like trying this out, I create a tag, marketing. Let me see what happens when I hit the share. You can even collaborate on reminders. That's also a new feature as well. When I hit the share button, people you can invite can add others. So you can have other Apple users with the reminders app that can also add things to your reminders too. I think that's neat. So in that case, they'll definitely be able to see that tag. If I send it as an email, open my shared list. Yeah, open my shared list. So if they open it, if you send it to them through iMessage, the email, those will have the tags as well when you share them. So that's really neat. Thank you for that question. That taught me something new today. So yes, you can remove a reminder to a different list. And of course, you can hold and drag a reminder to change where you want the reminder to be in the list. Smart lists give you a quick view of all of your reminders from across your list. You can even create your own custom smart lists to automatically collect reminders based on rules that you set. So if I go and create a list, right? So I hit add list, I name it such and such, fun, right? Well, I'm gonna be a little more literal here, but look, accounting. Maybe I just want a list for my accounting reminders. Done. And then look, it says list type. Standard, no, I want it to be smart list. And you see below Smart List, it says edit filters. When I hit edit filters, look at that. Maybe I just want the tags, any selected tags, and I just want my accounting tags to be in the Smart List. And then of course you can add other filters too. Maybe you just want them on a particular date, a time, a particular location, etc. But we're just going to keep it simple. So accounting, all the reminders that have the accounting tag will appear in this Smart List. So I hit done, done again, and look at that. So if I create, let's try this. If I create a work reminder, so a reminder in my work list, let's see what happens if I add marketing, whatever. Marketing, whatever. And as soon as I created that reminder, look at that. The accounting list has this, his reminder, even though it's in the work list too. So no matter what it is, as long as it has that hashtag accounting tag, then it will appear here in the accounting section or list. And again, you can edit it by hitting these I, show Smart List info. Let me adjust the filter. So maybe I want tags, other filters, maybe I want priority. Let's see what happens when I hit high priority, right? Done. So it has to be both. So wow, even though, so if you add more than one filter, it has to cover all of those filters. So I have to go back to, let's see, my marketing, my accounting tag, right? But let me change it so that way the I go to priority, and then let me hit high. And then once I hit done, look what happens. Now it's back in the accounting list because I added a high priority to that reminder. Really, really cool how you can filter your reminders really, really specifically if you wanted to. One thing that you can also do is you can put your lists into groups. So you can contain a group named school that contains all of your school related lists, for example. So if you want to create a group, you hit, let's see, hit these three dots. What's going on? Let me see where it is at. Add list. If I look back at my presentation, tap the edit button at the top of the search bar, then you hit add group. But I don't see that, I just see this, edit lists. There you go. So there, again, that's all you have to do is explore and see what happens when you hit each button. So again, I hit these three dots right here at the top, and then it says edit lists. And you look at the bottom left, it says add group. So if you want to group your lists, you can. So I already have one set up where, look, I have a school group. So let me just show you. Edit list, add group. You can name the group whatever you want. So I'm just going to name it that. And then you can include what lists you want in that group. So for the group, maybe I'm going to name it events. Let me do that. Name it events. And I'm going to include Dee's birthday party because that is an event, right? So I go back, and then I hit create. And look at that. If I done, now it says events, Dee's birthday party. You can minimize it or open it. So school, look at that. You can minimize it. Look, I have an AP chemistry list, an AP calculus VC list, a choir list, some classes I took in high school. But events, look, I have 3 different reminders in my events, and I have this list as well under that group. So you can have group of lists that are similar. So again, events group for your event list, your school group for your school lists. Okay, so we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty, but hey, it's really interesting to see how you can really organize everything. So What's new in reminders? Every time you open an app up for the first time, especially after you update your device, you may see what's new in that app. So some of the newest features in reminders is you can pin your lists. You can see what you've completed. There are other options as well, or features that I didn't cover today, but just really some of the basics and some advanced concepts as well of using the reminders app. So I have this video here from our good friend Rich Boland that I've seen in module 2 and covering Siri. But this is also just gives a general idea of how to use the app. So I might hopefully provide some ideas as well for you. And again, if you would like to try the Reminders app at the end, please make sure to raise your hand at that time. And we love to explore that together.
A couple of years ago, I made a video.
Okay. 1 second, you all.
Covering how I use Apple reminders, but my way is just one way. You may find a completely different way to use reminders that suits your style. Well, Apple has updated the Reminders app since that last video, and today we're going to dive back in and take a fresh look at just how useful the Reminders app can be. This app is the real deal. Hi, my name is Rich. If you're new to the channel, welcome, and if not, welcome back. Each week I try to release a video designed to help seniors and beginners learn how to use their Apple tech, mainly the iPad and the iPhone, without all the frustration, just simple stuff really, tips that'll get you started right away. If that sounds like something you might be interested in, please consider subscribing and tapping the little thumbs up icon. Better than that time-tested written list. Today I'm going to show you how to back up your reminders to iCloud because that's important. How to create a new list. You can create lists within your reminders just like you can on a piece of paper. How to add a task to a list. How to create folders for your lists. Apple calls them groups. And then how to change the layout of the Reminders app to suit you. Let's get.
So again, just keep in mind that some of the layout the actual app may have changed since this video was created, but it's just important to get some of the basics are still there. And again, just some ideas and maybe hopefully some clarifications as well.
Started. Okay, the first thing I want to show you how to do is how to back up your reminders to iCloud. If you have more than one Apple device, maybe you have an iPhone and an iPad, if you back your reminders up to iCloud, then they sync on both the iPhone and the iPad. But even if you only have one device, if you back it up to iCloud, you're protecting yourself. If you were to drop and break your iPad or something like that and you had to go buy a new one, when you log into your Apple ID, if you've backed up to iCloud, then all of your reminders will be there. So let me show you how to do that. First thing you do is go to Settings, and you go over in the left side, scroll up until you see your name up at the top, tap on it, and then you'll go to iCloud. And you're going to scroll down till you see Reminders right here. And you're going to want to make sure that little button is green, so you just tap on it to turn it green. And when you do that, that'll automatically back up all of your reminders to iCloud. It only takes a couple seconds and it's pretty simple to do, but be sure you do that before you get started. Okay, let's dive into the app itself. The first thing I want to show you is how to create a list. So let's go into Reminders. And automatically you get a reminders list right there. And if you wanted to add a task to it, you could do that. But I like to create lists for the different things that I do. And so let me show you how I do that. So to add a list, you simply tap on the bottom right here where it says Add List. And you give it a name. And I'll type in groceries. And then you can choose an icon for it if you want. By going down here, I'll make it a little grocery cart and I'll turn it red. And that's how you create a list, and then you tap Done. And now you've got a groceries list over here. A task to it, you could do that. But I like to create lists for the different things that I type in groceries. And then you can choose an icon for it if you want. By going down here, I'll make it a little grocery cart and I'll turn it red. And that's how you create a list, and then you tap done. And now you've got a groceries list over here. I'll create another list and we'll call this Target. And I think I'll make that icon a grocery cart also. I'll make it a basket. And I'll make it green. And then I'll click done. And so now I have new lists for groceries and for Target store. It's that simple, and you can create as many lists as you want. You get the idea. Maybe you create a list of things to do for the weekend, or maybe you create a packing list for travel, or maybe you create a list of bills that you have to pay. So it could literally be a list of anything, but that's how you create a list. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is how to add a task to reminders. I'm going to tap on groceries, and then I'm going to tap on new reminder right here, and I'm going to tap on buy milk. And then I'm going to click done. And that's all there is to it. And now you have a new task called buy milk. And I'll go to Target, and I'll tap new reminder, and I'll type buy blanket. And I'll tap done. And now I've got a list for groceries and a list for Target. But you know, you can also add more information to that task. If you tap on it and go to the little I right here to the side, you can set a date for that too. And so I'm going to set today's date, or we'll do it today. And then and click done. And now you'll notice in the today widget up here, buy milk shows up. And if I go to Target and I tap on that and I put a date, and we'll say the 13th, and we'll click done. Now we go back to the widget. We've got today's date, but we also have two scheduled: buy milk for today and buy a blanket on Sunday. And so it's important, if you want to keep track of what you have to do and when you have to do it, to just add a date to your task. And that's how you add a task to a list. Okay, the next thing I want to show you how to do is how to create folders. I call them folders. Apple calls them groups. But sometimes you have lists that are sort of connected to one another. I would call a shopping list to Target and a shopping list to the grocery pretty close in nature to one another. And sometimes you want to group those together, and it's very simple how you do that. If you look back here, we've got a list for groceries and Target. All you do is I'll tap on groceries, and I'll drag it. I'll drag it over.
That's really cool. I didn't know that you could do that by just watching this video. I just want to test it out really quick to see if that works. So if I have two lists, let me call this list A, and then let me call this list B. And then if I hold on to B, and oops, my bad. You hold on to B and you drag it onto A. Wow, let me call this group C. Create. Wow, that's a neat feature. Thank you, Rich. Just wanted to show you all that because that's really cool.
Top of Target. And as you can see, it's a little finicky there. You just have to play with it till you drag it the right way. But what I did is I dragged the one list on top of the other. And when you do that correctly, it pops up here, and you can just give the grouping a name. So I'm going to call it shopping. And then I'll hit create. And that's how you do it. And now you can fold those two lists up into the shopping list. And you've got Target and you've got groceries there. And that way you can organize your list, because sometimes I know people that have 50, 60, 70 lists of things to do. and they put them into folders to keep everything organized, and that's a great way to do that. All right, the last thing I want to show you how to do is organize and take out anything you don't things you can do. But if you go up here to edit and tap on that, you can take out anything you don't want to see. So I'm removing flagged, and if I click done, now I just have today and scheduled. If you want to add all of your tasks and flag and assign to me, you can click done, and all of those widgets show up. But that's just a quick way. I typically don't use assign to me or flagged, but that's just a quick way to organize the widgets on your Reminders app and to change the layout just a little bit. Like most of my videos, I've just scratched the surface on what Reminders can do.
Yep. Again, if you, just like he mentioned in the video, which I didn't get a chance to cover, if I hit these three dots and hit edit list, of course you can create a group manually as well. But just like he did, if you don't want certain things to appear, like, you know, maybe you don't want completed or flagged to come up, you just unselect those, hit done, and look at that. It's just today, schedule, and all, but I tend to use those flagged and completed. But you can also adjust the order of like your groups in here too. Once you get done, you'll see the changes that you have made. So yes, that is the Reminders app. Hopefully you've you know, learned something new about the app, or if it's your first time experiencing it. I haven't done this session in quite a bit, but it's always quite interesting to see what you can do, what you learn. And yes, at this point, I love, well, one, thank you all so much for attending. I hope you take advantage of the Reminders app to, you know, just be a little bit more organized and have a tool and resource that's available to you. So again, some questions, of course, I'd love for you to answer. And then if you have not experienced the Reminders app before, maybe you could raise your hand and we could explore it for the last few minutes of our class as well. So if you'd like, but again, it's really simple just to add a little bit tidbit information to make sure that it is done. Okay, so but I also have some questions. What features in Reminders interest you, or maybe what's your most interesting or favorite feature? And what could you use the Reminders app for in your daily life? So what do you think it would be useful for you, etc. And yes. So first up is Anne. How are you?
Hi, Alex. I just want to tell you thank you. I tried something today that I've been using this app since you introduced me to it. It is
Mm-hmm.
very, very thing, but I just found out that I can put tasks in for the people who work for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
Yep, if they have, yep. Mm-hmm.
and daily when they come, and as we mark it off for the week or whatever things I want them to do during the week, and then I can go back and check that out. So that is something I tried out today. So thank you immensely.
Oh, thank you so much, Anne. I'm glad to hear that. I know you're using it, so I'm glad it's made your life hopefully just a little bit easier.
Yes, and especially with the doctor's appointments, and now I can figure that out a little better too.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
yeah, canceling and changing and whatever. So thank you,
Oh, no problem, man. Thank you so much and have a good rest of your day.
and you have a good weekend and stay
Oh,
safe.
yes.
Mhm.
You too. You too. Anyone else would like to answer these questions? Maybe try out the Reminders app, you know, just takes a, you know, tap here and there to try it out. But yes, we'd love to hear your thoughts on the Reminders app, answer these questions. I would love if you could raise your hand if you would like to answer one of these or try it out. Maybe some reactions in the chat too. I hope you enjoyed. I hope I answered your question, Mr. Harold, with that demonstration. Again, I learned quite a bit when utilizing this app, but yes, make sure to try it out and see if you like it, you know? But yes, hopefully when we, do this session again, I'd love for you all to share your experiences in using this app. And again, it's, just really neat to, sorry, I opened the wrong app, but just organize everything. I mean, look, you can have your events, you can have your groups, you can, if you're in school, you can organize it. If daily tasks, anything you want to put in the reminders app, you can just by playing around with it and seeing, how far you want to go with just putting in simple reminders, just like, walk the dog, what are my plans? Or you can be really specific and go into the nitty gritty of adding specific tags, groups, dates, times, information. So I hope you all enjoyed. So again, today at 12 o'clock, we'll be taking a trip to the Philippines with Lou. Can't wait for that. And then at 1:30, we'll be discovering or talking about the mail app on your iPad. Other than that, I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you all soon for our lunch club.